Like the eyes of a cat in the black and blue. Something is coming for you. Look out! Race for the morning. You can hide in the sun till you see the light. Oh, we will pray it's alright. Gotta get away, get away. Between the velvet lights, there's a truth that's hard to steal, yeah. The vision never dies. Life's a never-ending, we'll say. Holy diver, you're the star of the masquerade. No need to look so afraid. Jump, jump, jump on the tiger. You can feel his heart, but you know he's mean. Sunlight can never be seen. Sea. Oh, what's becoming of me? No, no, ride the tiger. You can see his stripes, but you know he's clean. Oh, don't you see what I mean? Gotta get away, get away. Gotta get away, get away. Yeah, holy diver, soul survivor. You're the one who's clean.
So you see, I've gotten this far. Please give me some place to rage. I'm not trying to go there, so take me away. Life sometimes pisses me off. It's never a good trip for me. Every time I reach for love, it's taken away. Night, so I play. Give me a sign this is day. Give me some patience, so I pray. It's time to die. Is that what I want? is there something wrong with me? For once in my life, I'd like to be really set free. Let me be me. Night, so I play. Give me a sign, this is day. Give me some patience, so I pray. It's time to die. Is that what I want? Hey, take me away. Take it away. Take me away. Take it away. Night, so I play. Give me a sign, this is day. Give me some patience, so I pray. It's time to die. Is that what I want? Night, so I play. Give me a sign, this is day. Give me some patience, so I pray. It's time to die. Is that what I want?
This is XboxEra. We're an independent, community-funded publication focused on providing the best coverage and discussion of your favourite platform, Xbox. With best-in-class forums, a kick-ass Discord server, and awesome merch, XboxEra.com is your destination for the best news, reviews, and features focused on what you care about. With shows like the Xbox Era podcast, headlines, and a whole heap of Patreon-exclusive content, we're proud to be an independent publication completely funded by you. If you value having an outlet truly focused on your preferred place to play, you can become one of the cool kids by supporting us directly via Patreon. Just head to patreon.com/XboxEra. You get cool swag and awesome perks, and we get to keep doing what we do. Become a part of the best Xbox community on the internet and help us grow even larger. Thank you for your support. This Xbox Era is only made possible by the support of an amazing community, and in particular our legendary and growing army of Patreon supporters. Our executive producers: Top, the Scarecrow 121, Peter B, Not Jack, Mohammed Sherez, Kevin S, Korkenstein, Jordan White, Jordan Andau, Frankie C, Terran H, and Britt. Our amazingly generous grand benefactors who take their support and dedication to Xbox Era to another level. Krat56, an assassin. And then there's our boss, our leader, our shining light in times of darkness, the one and only Xbox Era CEO, Torn Raptor. You guys are all fucking awesome. If you enjoy the content Xbox Era produce and want more of it, and you're not a patron, consider heading over to patreon.com/XboxEra, pledge your support, and get cool swag in return.
Another episode of Headlines by Xbox Era. It's March 18th, which means only 3 days until the official start of spring. Holy crap. 2025. And we have another great show for you guys this week as we talk about the latest in gaming news from across the industry. Green, blue, red, doesn't matter. We'll talk about it. And of course, for our fantastic patrons, we'll have an audio version of these episodes available via Patreon. If you want to join in on the fun, head over to patreon.com/XboxEra. Okay. How's it been, Jesse? How's it going? How was your weekend? All right, fair enough.
There we go. I'm having to reset everything. It's one of those OBS days where OBS has just decided it's going to reset every setting. And so it had a completely different microphone for me in OBS, even though you can hear me fine on StreamYard.
Perfectly fine.
Overall,
Jesse said his weekend was the worst ever.
Weekend's been good. Overall, it was pretty much finished up Assassin's Creed, I think last Thursday or Friday. Got that all set. That'll go live later today at 1 p.m. Eastern. That's roughly 3 hours from now. That is a premiere that will go directly into a live stream. And then once the live stream is over, or once the premiere is over, it brings you right over to the live stream. I'm going to be live streaming it while on the gigantic Lenovo laptop that's like right there. That's a big old laptop boy. Going to be live streaming it on that to because I couldn't think of any other real way to cover it because the thing's like $4,000 to $5,000 most of the time. So obviously, for a particular, it's got a 4090 and like a top tier CPU in it. So that'll be fun. That'll be the day today. But mostly, as people may have noticed, it's just been a lot of article writing because, as it turns out, if you keep up on the news and some rumors and whatnot, by far the easiest way to make money in covering video games outside of constantly begging people for joining the Patreon, because it always feels weird. I know we always throw it in there and let people know. Because streams like this, reviews, previews, any podcast or anything, none of them really make enough money to survive. They only get to happen because of the patrons. So there has been more of a news bent in stuff lately, but we're still going to try to keep up our podcast and review schedule and all that, because I've got 2 right now I'm working on. So I went from Assassin's Creed directly into Atomfall, which comes out on the 24th in early access, is in the 27th for Game Pass day 1. But also I got Blueprints, which is coming to Game Pass on April 10th.
Oh,
so
the
keep an eye
house
for that.
thing, right?
Yeah, that detective-y weird. I don't know. Jason Schreier seems very big on it, which is weird because if he's playing it early, you're not supposed to talk about it that way. But he's very positive on social media. So yeah, we have more coverage than ever, including one Monsieur Fairy Empire, who is now on a trip to some part of Germany, because we did get in for that version of. So many buttons to press. He's going to play Doom, The Dark Ages. Should be super cool. So March 31st, either this guy or John will put together a video of Fairy's time if he gets footage. So that's fun.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to it. It's nice to see that, like, we're getting more of these opportunities. And I was telling Jesse earlier, like, one of, I think, the biggest advantages we have as an international company is being able to do that, right? Like, hey, we have someone near Germany, let's send them to Germany instead. We have someone in UK, let's do that one instead. America, that kind of thing. Great to see.
Yeah, it's nice.
But all right, let's dive right into it. It's been a bit of a slow couple of days. I mean, we know that Gamescom is in full blow right now. So that's probably going to eat up a good amount of the news, especially for the next episode, definitely.
Yeah,
but
today's would have been Assassin's Creed, but it's so far away from the show that it didn't feel, and I was going to stream it afterwards anyways, that it didn't feel worth delaying for.
If it was like 12 or something, then maybe.
We'll talk about it a lot on Thursday. How's that?
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, jumping right into it is Microsoft sharing that Xbox Play Anywhere hits 1,000+ games supported by the program, and the actual number is something like 1,300.
Yeah,
like
when
that.
we counted it, our community, led by multiple people on our Discord, along with Cengiz from the team, counted it all up back in November. It was well over 1,200, I think. So there's been more and more announced for it, but there weren't really any news stories that super popped today, but I did think with Play Anywhere, or essentially they're calling it Xbox Everywhere. That is the real focus for them at GDC, outside of the garbage AI and mobile stuff that none of us care about. Because if you look at their GDC presentations, they're almost all mobile or AI. And then you get a handful of really fun things like, hey, you should come to Xbox and do Xbox Everywhere. Is the main thing they're calling it, instead of just Play Anywhere, just 2 words, Xbox
You
Everywhere.
can tell they've ramped up their investment into Play Anywhere. The more they're talking about it, they had the one ad, right? Xbox Play Anywhere, or even before the ad, in their own show, The Direct. Before, right in the beginning, they had that all of these games are Xbox Play Anywhere, right?
Yep.
So it's
and
nice to see. Yeah.
The rumors for next gen, which we talk about all the time, is the single SKU. So you make an Xbox game, you get Xbox hardware, PC hardware, and cloud hardware versions, and it all just works. So it's a very ambitious project, and you can see why they keep pushing it. If they're able to pull it off, which they should, because it's all their hardware and their software working together.
Seriously.
I'm not saying it's easy, just that they should be able to do it. It'll
Like
be very
most
interesting.
things,
And it'll also give
stuff
them
takes-
way better global coverage on releases.
Yes, definitely. Like most things, this stuff takes a while. So it makes sense that they're doing things like kind of bite-sized, you know what I mean? Talk about this, then this, then this. But give it a few years, and I mean, we talked about this in length on the podcast.
Mhm.
So I don't want to go about it too much into it. But
See, the podcast is talking about it with Nick, which is a pain in the ass. That's why John and I like and made this show, is because then we get to talk about it and not get interrupted all the time and then told, hey, you're the ones that make it long by the guy who talks 80% of the show.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. It's very ambitious, right? But it's something they've been working on for years. Like, what was the first Play Anywhere title? Like 5 years ago?
It was
maybe?
Recore.
It was Recore. Oh my god. Huh. And back then it wasn't as big of a deal because you're like, oh, it's not that much. But as time goes on and more people transfer to PC, it's really seen as like this nice perk to have. So I don't know. Let's see.
It is funny thinking back and just how angry people were about everything going to PC for a while. Like people were pretty pissed.
Oh my god. I still remember. And sorry, yes, it was GDC, not Gamescom. My bad. Mix those two up. I constantly do. They both start with G.
Yeah. John is at GDC. He put up, I don't know if he put it on the Discord. I don't know if he did anything else with it, but he was in one of those self-driving cars. It's weird. In San Francisco for you, they'll try some stuff out.
Yeah.
It is funny seeing people who go to Gamescom and GDC and they're like, I can get the same, like you can get amazing food in San Francisco. It's just 4 times as much as it is in Cologne, because San Francisco is an unbelievably expensive city. Like,
God, the Bay Area, man. Ugh, yeah. My sister moved there with her family like 2-3 weeks ago, and the amount they're paying for just rent of like a small apartment, man. Ugh, God. Salaries will be good if you get a job there, but
most people work in the city, do not live in the city because my God, you could never afford it. Or you've got like 7. It's like even Greg Miller and his wife had Lucy James as a guest, as a roommate, because it was like one of the only ways to afford everything, because it's just so goddamn expensive.
Yeah. And it might have been Gears 4. First Play Anywhere. Could be.
I thought it was Recore.
I know it was in that time period of like Sunset Overdrive, Recore, Gears 4. What is that, 2014-ish, 2015-ish?
So I don't think Gears 4 was Play Anywhere. I think Gears 4 was dual entitlement, wasn't it? Because like Play Anywhere with the... I don't know. Well, I should ask Bing Chat. You can do that live. Bing, let's deforest a bit of the Amazon by asking it a simple question. Use up lots of electricity. It's a really good. Most of the stuff today that we'll talk about in the next story for Game Pass is pretty much everything new. Game Pass is Play Anywhere. Even the things that there's only one thing that's not in the cloud, but that's thanks to the CMA. In case you're wondering, we'll get into that in a little bit. What was the first Play Anywhere title in Xbox? Play Anywhere. Yeah, Quantum Break was dual entitlement. Bing Chat says Recore, released in September 2016.
Okay, damn.
Which was a month before Gears 4. So there you go.
Okay, that makes sense.
Got it by a month, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Quantum Break was dual entitlement. That's why the Microsoft Store version doesn't, you don't get your saves and stuff, I don't think.
Yeah. But let's jump right in to the next big news, which is the Gamecast drop. We knew it was coming today. Some of this is moving from Ultimate to Standard, like Octopath Traveler 2 and I think Train Sim World 5, right?
Yeah, and I take those as like they have signed a deal to be in there for years. They are not going anywhere.
Yeah. Definitely. What is interesting is of the 5 games being added today or this month or this half of the month, 4 of them are going straight into Standard, or we're moving from Ultimate to Standard. That surprises me a little bit, because when they first talked about Standard and Ultimate, I kind of assumed any new game to the service would go into Ultimate first, then standard maybe a few months later or whatnot. But now you have both Blizzard Arcade Collection and Mythract both coming straight into standard too, alongside Ultimate.
I didn't even realize that, and I wrote the news.
But yeah, obviously the big one is Atomfall, releasing, as Jesse said earlier, March 27th for us Game Pass scrubs. Jesse, can you say when your review's releasing, or no, nothing?
For which one? Atomfall? Nah.
Atomfall, yep.
Nope. I probably should. I don't even know. So say I have it. Oh, Karen is only PS5 and PC. That climbing game with the co-op-like mechanics.
It really? Oh, damn.
Yeah, I
okay.
just got an email that says coming to, because it was only Steam, and now it says also PS5. So
Yeah, Recore was it's when Jesse first wrote his reviews, and I was still doing the video editing for them. But yeah, it was one of the first ones.
Yeah, and I don't even think I had on mic to record anything. Like I had no setup. Yeah. That is one of the funnier things. I literally never written, narrated, or especially video edited anything before this, like in this fashion.
The amount Jesse's improved from his initial reviews is insane. Like, go check out some of the early reviews if you want to see like the sheer difference.
Well, I mean, I'm at 320 something now.
Yeah,
I hope it would have gotten a little better. I'm trying to not have it be formulaic. Like that's the main thing. You don't want it to just always be the same. I think the Shadows one, I tried to dive more in depth without, obviously no story spoiler, but yeah, I've done 315 reviews now, and like, hopefully they're okay. The video editing has gotten good. I've got the whole setup and everything, so hopefully it sounds all right. But yeah, this drop's not a big one. I think in large part because the way people got to look at it, to understand their thinking and not to agree with it, just to understand why they think this way, is it's always a amount of time played. Like that's their main mechanic they care about. So if they give you a game like Atomfall that's coming out, and it probably costs them a fair amount of money to get it, they want to make sure you have the time to play it. And there's already still so much from the first 2 months, and they will know how much people are playing them and trying to catch up, because the first couple months were kind of crazy. And April already has 6 day one things in it. So it's just kind of nuts. So like if I go to my article, which I forgot to update for drop 1, and went back and updated with drop 1 as well as wave 2, the month of April already has South of Midnight, Commando's Origins, Descenders Next, Blueprints, Tempopo, and Clair Obscure Expedition 33. So we pretty much, we know wave 1. It's right there.
Yeah.
There's
the whole wave.
5 games in 3 days. That's the thing where they don't control when third-party games come out. So it's kind of nice that at least Clair Obscure is spread out, because there's also already 3 games for May. So like May and April already have between them the friggin' 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why is there a fat ass Star Trooper on our goddamn website as an ad? John, 10 hilarious photos that prove reality outshines fiction. Number 7 will leave you in stitches. It's just a fat ass stormtrooper. This sounds like something Shingy would retweet. Get out of here. Send feedback. Ad was inappropriate. God damn it. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things already for the coming 2 months. And like some of those, like Clair Obscure is like a 30+ hour game.
And I do think, and even if people might not agree with this, I do think they take into consideration big third-party releases, even if they're unaffiliated at all with Game Pass, right?
Yeah, because everything for them is time played. And if everyone's going to be like this month, Shadows is coming out. Yeah. And they know also, that. They know.
Shadows is everywhere. And once again, Assassin's Creed breaks into the zeitgeist of the casual audience. I've had people that haven't spoken about gaming in forever be like, oh, hey, by the way, Assassin's Creed's going to Japan. I'm like, yeah, it is. They're going to buy the damn game. They're going to play. Like, everyone's going to play this thing.
You know and I mean? For Jesse James in chat, not everyone likes all those games, though. I'm only interested in South of Midnight. It's like, I know. It's not saying that it has to be enough for you or makes you feel great or like you don't have to like it. It's just it's just trying to understand their philosophy, because they can only put out so much. Like they can just keep tossing it at you, but then people like my wife feels it all the time with stuff, is they'll feel choice paralysis. Yes. So it's like why they don't say there's over 500 games in Game Pass. They say there's hundreds, just to make it a little more ambiguous.
One thing I think we'll realize as Game Pass continues more and more, and Microsoft keeps releasing a bunch of first party, is there's also going to be the catalog aspect of it, where it's not just new releases that keep people sub. You know, People be like, "Oh, this has been a week, couple months. Why am I still subscribing?" Well, are you not playing anything?
Well, I imagine like Balatro is probably eating up a ton of people's time still. So
literally.
And it's not a you must like this or you must appreciate it or you must stay subbed. It's like if it hasn't had anything for you in a while, then and you don't play online multiplayer games, then yeah. And heck, hopefully we'll remove that multiplayer requirement in a couple of years. They better. It would be really dumb to allow PC games on the console and still try and charge for console ones, because then I'm just going to play. I will say, please load up the PC version of the next Halo, please, and then I don't have to pay. Like
seriously.
Ooh, The Throne of Business, Toilet Empire, now live on Steam. Just got this email. Toilet Empire.
Dude, I still get emails for Choo Choo Charlie because I had it on my wish list and I haven't removed it.
I got Slavic Junkie Simulator and Teacher Simulator codes just sent to me. I redeemed them. Maybe someday I'll stream them for fun if we want to do a bunch of drugs and get demonetized. But yeah.
Okay. Speaking of Game Pass, got a couple games joining the core. Tunic, Arkham Knight, Monster Sanctuary. Kind of interesting. Those are all three of them are pretty good games. Tunic especially. And of course, we have some games leaving. Looks like more of the Yakuzas are leaving.
Yeah,
which makes sense.
Bunch, 4 more.
Yeah, Like a Dragon is finally leaving. It was on the service for a while. I think I purchased 0 and like the first 3 when I'm pretty sure they came and left, right?
Yeah, they left before and came back. Some of them. I don't know, but it was all, but it was at least some.
I'm pretty sure it was these first 3 because I went and bought these first 3 when I knew they were leaving. And now they're leaving again. It's kind of interesting. But this one's a little more interesting is the show is gone. MLB, the show 24. And this time we're not getting 25.
I have it. They sent a code really late, like once it launched. So I think there was only still like 1 or 2 reviews for it because they just stopped sending them early. Once it kind of went, it is MLB publishing it on Xbox, but it's PlayStation's PR handling it, and they just don't seem to bother sending anything early. And I need to go grab my incredibly high on painkillers cat because he's just climbing around the stove.
Oh my God. All right. Well, Jesse deals with that. At this point, if you're subscribed to Game Pass and you don't realize that, unless either A, you play a game the month it comes onto the service, or
I was wrong.
B,
it was the not high one climbing around because she's a bad girl.
or B, you just accept that games will leave after a year. It's a rental service. It is, other than Microsoft first party games. So if you're on Game Pass, or if you have Game Pass and you have a game that's interested, play the damn thing when it comes to the service, right? Don't be like me and wait 2-3 years and, oh my God, it's leaving. I was supposed to play that. No.
It's tough. Like the backlog is real for most people, which also really eats into even being able to get to stuff as it releases.
Especially with sequels releasing, it's like you want to play through the backlog first, but then that takes a bunch of your time. And
if you're on PC and Amazon just keeps handing away insane amounts of games, desperately trying to pull people away from Steam. And people are like, wow, they're really giving out the best. It's like, yeah, because they're in growth mode because they are desperately trying to pull people away from Steam.
Redeemed my Prime games in a little while.
There's been it's been a lot of older, amazing games, but they're like growth mode is the best. And Microsoft hasn't been in grow at any cost mode on anything for a while. None of the hardware people are. Like you're not going to see it with you didn't see it almost ever with the Switch, even though the Switch had a slow launch. It ramped up quickly enough where they were just like, nope, our prices are never going to go down. And then Sony figured out the way to have their prices not go down with the remakes and relisting and unlisting the old game. So, but like a game like Hogwarts Legacy is long if you want to do when they're good, big open world map games. Yeah, you might be able to beat the story in 20 hours, but you don't want to. There's a bunch of other shit you want to go have fun doing. That's the Assassin's Creed games for me. Generally, it's like I could beat Odyssey in 35 hours if I focused on it, but there's so much cool side shit to do that also makes me a hell of a lot stronger. And I was able to save my entire family in that game, which is not the easiest thing to do without a guide. So, God damn it, I was happy.
Yeah. Though that being said, I don't think you could you even beat Odyssey in 35? I feel like the game really does want you to at least do some side stuff to level up.
Valhalla is the one that requires it. Like Odyssey and Origins, you can get away a little. Valhalla is the one you have to spend like 60 to 80 hours to be able to beat it. There's just no getting around it. And they've already come out and said Shadows you could probably beat in about 30. They didn't do that, but it's got 80 to 100 if you want to do everything.
That sounds like the perfect length, because that means it'll be like roughly like 60, 70 if like you play a good amount, but not like every little thing, you know? Which is fine, which is okay. Again, I mean, you play some JRPGs and they'll go for like 200-300 hours. So
yeah,
60, 70 is pretty decent.
And
okay
they said 30 to 35 for Clear Obscure on average, they're thinking. Like nothing crazy. So also, I didn't put it in there because it wasn't worthy of it, but Clear Obscure's preload's already up, and that game is not out for 5 weeks.
Yeah, I saw you post that. I saw you find that. How big is the preload?
Well, because oh god, what was it? I forget. It wasn't huge. I think it was 40, 41.
Okay.
Because Atom Falls went up, and I was doing an Atom Fall thing, saying, "Hey, Atom Falls preload is up," and then all of a sudden it says "update required" on Clear Obscure's preload, and I was like, "Oh shit, what? Doesn't make any sense." And there it was, whole goddamn thing. Atom Fall is also weird. Atom Fall is 60 gigs on PC on the Microsoft Store, and it is 30 gigs on Series consoles.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
Is it high quality textures? Maybe
I don't know.
Yeah, 41 GB for Clear Obscure on Xbox.
Yeah.
God, I can't wait for this game. Also, 35, 40 hours is a lot. I remember Final Fantasy 15 took me 40 hours to beat, and it felt like it was a lot.
Yeah.
You know? That being said, I'm like 60 hours into Blizzard Eternity too. Anyways, okay. Moving on. Next up, and this is again also related to Game Pass, and it's also showing Microsoft's continued investment. And wow, that article did numbers. Holy crap!
Yep. The SEO on that game is insane, which makes me think it's going to sell real well.
Game Pass Ultimate subscribers will be able to stream Assassin's Creed Shadows. We talked about this a little bit in the podcast, but it bears repeating. This is now the third big game of the year that Microsoft has no affiliation with other than releasing on their console that is available for streaming with purchase. Relatively new thing for Microsoft. And by relatively new, I mean like 4 or 5 months, maybe, if that. The previous big game was Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and I'm pretty sure I'm missing one game between those two that released that also had this. I mean, the barrier of entry is still pretty high in the sense that you need Game Pass Ultimate, and you got to buy the game if, like, say you don't have a console or you want to just play this. But it's getting there, right? It's additive, little by little by little. It's kind of reinforcing the fact that whatever you play on your Xbox, you'll be able to play wherever the hell you are, on whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, I actually gave John a PC code for this originally, but then he was like, shit, I wish I had the Xbox one so I could just stream it on the cloud. And so I got him an Xbox code as well.
Yeah.
Because he's got the ROG Ally, but obviously I have no idea how it runs on there. Can't say a word about his optimization or anything, but one would hope in general, and it seemed fine when I did the preview, but that was obviously a super powerful cloud PC. With all the extra time, that it would be at least in good shape. And since assholes are just streaming it entirely on YouTube since last night, he did seem to get gut, and it was an early press version given to him directly. With it, they knew it was him. It's like he said it's the 18th. They said the 18th, the embargo, so I'm playing. It's like not midnight local time on the 18th, a specific global time on the 18th, which is 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern. So for you in France, that would have been like 5 o'clock because you're not daylight savings yet, I don't think.
That's crazy. That's like main character syndrome, man. Like, it's 18th, therefore I can do whatever the hell I want.
It's the content. People always go at press and stuff for messing up, and it's like, no, the vast majority of it's content creators and streamers who are in general kind of like us, just regular people in their living room. Like I've had people that are friends of the channel that we've had on before that like didn't read the review guide and just started their videos were just showing things they weren't supposed to. It was like, hey, if you didn't see this in the review guide, and they had to pull it down and quickly do it. And then of course
it's not even like it's hard, right? It's just basic stuff. Like,
yeah, I mean, sometimes it's easy to miss it. Other times it's just they probably did it on purpose because they just especially wanted to get things out there early and have them watched and read more. There were 2 reviews that went up already, but they got pulled.
I see some discussion in chat. The nice thing about Play Anywhere is the whole point is you really shouldn't have to figure out how to do it. It should just be, I click play and it's playing. You know, cloud sync up, everything syncs up.
It's kind of like Ubisoft's. You don't get cross buy, but you will get cross save and all their stuff now because I've jumped between PC and Xbox and Shadows and like all their other games. You get one cloud save, it's your latest save, it automatically syncs and it's just there within a couple. Like I always make sure to wait to let it sync after I close the game, give it a minute, open the other version, and it's right there. So
in terms of Play Anywhere and people's like kind of like misinformation with it, I think as more people get handheld consoles and then see like that connection between the two, that'll be your best advertising point. Rather than trying to explain the nitty-gritty details, this isn't, blah, 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 just let them do it themselves.
Yeah, that's why they said that it just works. Because like people talk about all the time how I can't bring my PS4 save for this game over to the new PS5 version that just came out because it doesn't just work. Like their save actually doesn't come over. It is a different SKU with a different save. So you can't always bring it over every time.
I had a Metaphor Fantasio, and I'm like, you know what? Let me see if I can play on my Rug Ally. Click the button, and boom, there it is. Right? Didn't need to Google it. Just opened it up, saw if it's available. It is available. Problem solved. And you can kind of do that with a lot of things, especially Game Pass stuff. And generally, the PC apps make it pretty obvious as you're playing the synced version of it, because it won't have brackets PC written on it. Yeah. Right?
So the main way is always when you just look at playable on, and if it shows Xbox and PC, then you're good to go.
Yeah.
At that point, everything should work.
I do agree, Yang. They could advertise it more, and I think they are. I think, especially in recent months, they are. But it is a little bit like, what was that called? Friggin' their multiple generation things. What was that called again? It's like the same version, the game, Smart Delivery. It's like kind of like Smart Delivery, where it's like you don't really got to advertise it. It's just you need to make sure it works.
It's not Play Anywhere is awesome, but I don't also think it's going to hit the casuals. Like they don't care. They're just playing on one thing, and they're not going to worry about jumping between them, unless you're able to get that more mass adoption into cloud, where everyone has a phone type of thing.
Yes, and then from there it'll be a natural, not even adoption. It'll just be a natural, like, this is just how it's supposed to be, right? And then when they go to an area where it isn't like that, they'll be like, "What the heck is this? Why aren't my cloud syncing? Why can't I play the same version of the game wherever I am?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, their focus won't be on, like people say, how come Play Anywhere is not on the side of a bus as much? But it's because they're going to really focus on Steam users. Like that is the audience they need to try and convert. Because Phil has said, there's no point in me trying to convert PlayStation and Switch users. It doesn't happen. He's never said that about not trying to convert PC users, because that is where, like, for the casual audience, getting them into the Play Anywhere ecosystem via cloud is a hope, I'm sure. Though we talked about it last week, they did limit free Fortnite users to an hour at a time. Because
that was interesting.
Well, it was crazy generous compared to every other clods service, because they're just probably losing money on all of them if they're not constantly being
because it's completely free. You're right.
There's no cost, nothing. So like for completely free an hour at a time, I know it sucks, especially if you don't realize and it kicks you out of a match because you started up with half an hour and then it's an incredibly long one. But that's then their incentive to try and get you to pay. We were lucky they were generous in their eyes for a while, because that should just cost them money.
It's approaching, what's that thing? What's that word for when like something hits like this point and then it starts taking off? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I can't think of the word. I'm sure someone will in a minute.
It's a word. And I think cloud is rapidly approaching that point. Because it is kind of just go on your console, go to a friend's place, a family's place that has an Xbox or whatever, maybe even like an Xbox One, which I've done a few times. Go there, click a game, tipping point. Yes. Go there, click a game, and then just click play. That's it. And then boom, you're playing the game. And for sure, you can't play like Halo multiplayer like that. Obviously,
once they have the Wi-Fi direct controller, it could definitely help a lot, especially if the next generation of Cloud Blade servers, say in 3-4 years, is finally using H.265 or AV1, and then you can get way better looks with 6 to 10K bitrate, because the lower the bitrate, the snappier it can be, because you have to send and receive less info. But H.264 looks like shit. Like the current codec they use just looks really bad unless it's really high. Even on GeForce now, when playing things at 75K bitrate, at 4K with HDR and everything, it feels good, but I can still tell it's not native. It's close. It's impressive, but it's also like $25 a month, and you got to own every game. So it's still playing PC games.
The big selling point with xCloud is the seamlessness, right? I actually recently I was on
just the library. You pay this money and you've got a ton of games you can play.
That's it. But I was at my brother's place in Memphis recently, and I wanted to try out Cloud on his TV because his Xbox stopped working, and his kids poured something in it. Ugh. Anyways, yeah, I know. Just that's what your kids just pour a whole glass of water into it. But I think, and then they tried turning it on. Anyways, I tried putting Boosteroid on, right? Because that was available at the time. I had a trial. And it was a pain in the butt, man. I just signed in on my Xbox account like every single time. I think I had to like link it online, but then also sign in here and there, and it was not seamless at all. At the same time, I was on my ROG Ally clicking one button, playing my Xbox save from hundreds of miles away. Like there are yes, GeForce Now, Boosteroid visually look a lot better, right? In terms of bit rate and whatnot. But in general, when it comes to this casual audience, it is about accessibility more than anything else. There's a reason all the friggin' streaming services provide 1080p max with their ad tiers. Because, hey, turns out people don't really care about 4K that much. Not enough to pay an extra $15 a month for it. You know? So we'll see. We'll see as the tipping point goes. We'll see how close they get. And who knows? I think we're approaching it. Give another two. Also, Wi-Fi Direct is magic. If it works as well as Stadia does, holy crap.
It was funny. Like, Stadia was terrible for me. It was like 2 seconds of input latency because when I looked, the only thing I could think of is that there was just no servers near me.
Yeah,
because my internet was fine, but I was in a more rural part of Florida then. I was like an hour north of Tampa, and it just felt like there was nothing that close. As we're with GeForce Now, there's like a cluster right next to me, so it feels good.
That makes sense. For me, Stadia, I was just on Wi-Fi in my living room, and I could play Destiny PvP, like actually play it. And yes, Trav, it was a Series X standing up. They poured water in it. He got it repaired, but then it stopped working again. So I'm telling him either just get a new one or just start using Cloud, man, because you don't play that much. Like, but okay, all right. Moving on. I think this was like the major stuff. Next up will be pretty quick. So this one is kind of funny. If you might remember, a few weeks ago there was this.
It was almost exactly a month.
Almost exact. Okay, all right. A month ago, there was this really cool glitch where you can get Alan Wake Remastered for free. Because all you had to do was purchase Alan Wake 2, right?
The Alan Wake 2. No, the real version that didn't get revoked is buy Alan Wake 2 and you get Alan Wake Remastered as part of a sale. But Alan Wake 2 has a trial. And people were redeeming the trial for Alan Wake 2 and then redeeming Alan Wake Remastered. And those trial redemptions, which obviously you didn't spend anything. Yeah. So those have been finally revoked. But it was more than enough time to actually play the game if you did.
It's only a long game. What was I going to say? This is, I think, another look at Microsoft's continued, I want to say, what's it called? Innovations in the store. I'm not sure how often you guys go to your store page, but you'll see things like For You, that little pink banner. Like
they even do like buy two get ones and stuff now. They do a lot of different shit.
They don't really advertise it in like Twitter or anything. It's just more like, hey, here's your store. And this is where I could definitely see AI being used a lot. Because it feels like these are relatively personalized, targeted ads, I want to say. You know the little button you click when you install new Windows? Do you want your ads to be targeted? No, you still see the same amount of ads no matter what, right? This feels like that. And it just feels kind of like an investment for the future in the storefronts. But yeah, if you did that for trick and you didn't play it, sucks for you. They revoked it.
It's pretty cheap overall if you actually do want to play it at some time in the future.
Alan Wake 2, I think I bought it for like $15 on sale. Like it's super cheap. Oh no, the remaster, probably like $20. Either way, it was still pretty cheap. And it is worth playing. It's a fantastic game.
Part of the shoulder thing drove me insane, if I remember. Like you couldn't choose the shoulder you're on or something. Oh my God.
Pressing R3 was like you had to just constantly, because the game would keep switching you to the other shoulder, and it's like, stop it. I want one shoulder. Oh God. Yeah, they're both great games. Definitely recommend playing them. Okay, moving on. Where'd the page go? There it is. Okay, all right. We are getting little by little more and more inklings that Starfield may finally be coming to PS5. Noticed by or written by Jon, of course, who originally reported back in February 2024 and started off something, an avalanche.
Had our second biggest article ever, and it made no money because we were on a really bad advert company. I know.
Holy crap, you're right. 160, almost 10,000 comments. Is that from the forum? Holy crap.
Yeah, the biggest one was, oddly enough, when Proven just posted a transcript of one of the Bethesda guys talking after the company was being sold. And it got 170K, and we made like $30 on it because the front company was so bad, which would probably make us like $4,000 today or something.
Yeah, I can imagine. Holy crap. But yeah, so obviously we reported as a site in 2014 February that Starfield will be coming to be. Oh no, what was it?
It was
what was the exact word he used?
He said said it's planned when he should have said it was being considered.
And yes.
And his wording was essentially after Shattered Space, they were going to take a look at porting it over. They wanted to get Shattered Space done, and then they would look more heavily into the port. Shattered Space, by the way, I loved, and a lot of people hated it and said it was terrible. But I disagree. Yeah. And people got very mad at me for liking something. And then they also got really angry at me not too long before that for disliking something, saying I hate everything because you can never win.
I need to finish Starfield. I was waiting for the 60 FPS patch after a little while, and it came, but then I was busy with who knows how much crap.
You're always going to be busy. If you don't just decide to get to it, you will never. That game at the 40 unlocked is amazing. So one of the best looking games on console. The lighting and physics systems, the material work, it's all top tier, and it's weird that it never gets talked about that way because people don't like the animation system. And they're always like, well, I don't like the animations and the faces as much as other games, so I'm gonna say please be an Unreal, even though Unreal would not be able to do that game at all. It just doesn't work. I am a noted big fan of Starfield, so take that as you will. If you don't like it, it's not going to change, and that's fine. I don't like Baldur's Gate 3. I appreciate its masterly craftsmanship. I look at it, I'm like, holy shit, everything about Baldur's Gate 3 is amazing. I just don't enjoy playing it.
But in terms of this recent leak, it looked like a Starfield logo. Sorry, PlayStation logos were added to Creation Club.
One single add-on had it.
Oh yes, yeah.
It was weird. So Creation Club should have it by default because it's on PlayStation for like Fallout and Elder Scrolls and stuff. But this was a Starfield mod that had it, and you normally can't add PlayStation to there.
So interestingly, there's an update in the article saying the PlayStation logo is gone, right? And now it looks like the whole mod is gone. I clicked it and it's saying content no longer there.
It was like a beta mod or something. It didn't seem like anything done. So who knows?
It would make sense that when they do release it on PS5, that obviously it comes with some kind of mod support, right? So it wouldn't surprise me if like there are internal modders that are working directly with Bethesda, working to make their mods compatible with PS5. Which is probably where this leaked from, I'm guessing. But yeah, let's see. I think I'm ready for Starfield to be nominated for best ongoing game.
It won't get anything. It won't get a single one. I don't even know that Indiana Jones will get anything from the Game Awards this year. There's too much. And it is.
Let's see how well it reviews.
Will Forza finally get a nomination? I'm still going to say probably not. And that is out in how many? 12 days. 12 days. That's out on PlayStation.
The 30th, right? God, can't wait. PlayStation pretends to hate mods because they don't have them. Once they have them, they'll pretend to love them again. It's just how it goes. Also,
it's so much of like people think there's a big conspiracy. It's just the things people play are what gets nominated. Yeah, most people don't have enough who cover games just don't have enough time to actually play everything, which is why Game Awards are always just. It's zeitgeist stuff. It's rarely things like it. Blueprints might have a chance at getting nominated and stuff this year because I'm already seeing so many people in game coverage talk about it, even though they're not supposed to be. Like, that's a weird one. It has an embargo that's closer to its launch, but I already see people saying like it's amazing and like Schreier in his tweets. I'm like, how can you say that? How can she slap? I don't get it.
I kind of feel like the panel for voting should be told, like, hey, if you've only played one game on this list, maybe consider recusing yourself from voting for this category.
That would be everybody on every friggin' game, on every list.
Yeah, other than
like I play as much as anyone I know, and I didn't play most of the things that came out last year. I probably played like 2% of them.
Yeah, God, seriously.
of things that were even nominated. Then you just think of everything that wasn't. Who knows? There might be some amazing indie game that had no shot at being nominated because it had 300 players on Steam. Like, it's movie awards versus game awards. Just you can watch every movie in a week. You couldn't play every game in 10 years.
Yeah, it's kind of how it goes. Moving on. And whoever made this list, orders, made pretty nice. Everything
Me.
connects. Nice. All right. Speaking of PlayStation 5, Sony, and this is good news overall, has formed a new first-party studio, which is awesome, called Dark Outlaw Games. Comes from studio head and director Jason Blundell.
You might know him.
Yeah.
He was Deviation, and I think he pulled a lot of Deviation people over here. So Deviation Games was not owned by Sony, but had a deal to make a first-person shooter with them. This isn't a first-person shooter. At least it's not like an... it's like some sci-fi thing. I forget. But hopefully this one goes better, because we made some light joking about it, how Sony's more recent acquisitions and stuff haven't had the best luck, but hopefully this is a trend changer. How's that?
It feels like they're obviously it's better than just partnering, right? I mean, we saw that fail like 2 or 3 times with Sony in recent years. Them making it a full internal studio, to me, says that they have more investment in it. That being said, internal studio doesn't make you immune to closures. That's Sony, Microsoft, EA, whoever, right? And also, if they started even like a couple years ago, this is going to be at least like 4 or 5 years out from anything, right?
Yeah.
Ideally, even like it's cool to see more investment in the gaming industry, and Sony does need to compete, right? Where are they at?
I'm curious where they're going to end up going with the way their games are, because they cornered the market on having the prestige stuff. Like, people really just expected that. But you can't just have that, and they've had good things like Helldivers, which even then still was like 7, 8, 9 years in development. But then Astrobot, which is a lot shorter on a smaller team, did fine. People are like, oh, it only did 2 or 3 million. It's like, yeah, but it didn't cost that much, so it's fine. Like, you can have
as long as it's okay for Sony. I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just worried that Sony might not consider success, but if they did, awesome. That's great.
And companies like having things that get them critical acclaim alongside the things that make them money. Because Sony, like with Xbox, the main thing that makes them money are all the third-party games they don't own. Microsoft had to buy Call of Duty to be able to crack the top 20 list with something new consistently. And again, last month or last week, Call of Duty was the #1 game on Xbox and PlayStation. Like, that pays for all the other stuff. That pays for Hellblade. That pays for Astrobot when you've got those games constantly making money on your platform, which is why Xbox will never want to get rid of their platform.
And they really do need to. You got to buy your way in. Or you have to be a huge company. I mean, the only other game that broke through recently is Marvel Rivals, and that's Tencent. Like, come on, like, they're bigger than pretty much anyone. Like, it's not even a comparison.
And even NetEase, who's as big as almost anyone, is pulling back their investment just because it's like, it's so goddamn. It's nearly impossibly hard to break in to the top plate anymore, which is what live service games kind of need, unless you're Ubisoft and you take the very long-term approach where it's like, For Honor might have cost us a little bit. It wasn't too bad, but holy crap, we kept supporting it, and now it just has this hardcore audience.
NetEase, my bad. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Tencent is friggin' League, obviously. And
Tencent are more insidious in their fingers than all the little pies, kind of like what Microsoft's going for. Which is funny that I think once gaming press realizes it more, it'll be like Sony's got a little bit in some other companies, but Microsoft is going to be the one that's like, we're gonna become a big player on all of your platforms and have our fingers in all of the pies in little nice ways. And then people finally realize what they're trying to do and start throwing a hissy fit because they're like, we thought you were dead. And it's like, no, they're trying to become.
You just bought everything.
Yeah, they're trying to become too important to every platform. Like, that's their main goal. Like, they have their own. And they really matter for everyone else so they can get better deals and shit. Like, that's what Call of Duty did.
Yes, 100%. We'll have to see. And, okay. Dang, Path of Exile 2 is not doing super hot yet, huh? Probably needs more updates.
That's the thing with early access. Like, Baldur's Gate was one of the exceptions where people just seem to really like bug testing Act 1 for them, which is why Act 1 was in pretty good shape and 2 and 3 weren't. But yeah, whatevs.
Okay, moving on. Again, we're an Xbox centric podcast, sure, but every single one of us hopes the best for the studio. It's a good thing
Not
having
Nick.
more games,
Nick's an asshole.
having more studios. Yeah, Nick is. But also, again, I kind of firmly believe in the future, 5-10 years from now, that console exclusives will be a thing of the past.
At the very least,
also,
Nintendo will have their shit, because Nintendo has their fan base that's enough of a mix of old and young, whereas the other two are aging quite a bit, and the young don't give a shit.
Right, the evergreen audience, where it's like, I grew up with Mario, I'm gonna have my kids play Mario. I grew up with Mario, I have my kids play Mario.
I grew up with Mario, and I hate Mario.
Yeah, that's right. But did you buy your kids Mario?
They never really asked for it.
Okay, all right, nice. Okay,
so they were my oldest was into it for a bit, but now he's just a Call of Duty. Just plays Call of Duty and Sea of Thieves on PlayStation because his friends had PlayStation.
Speaking of sales, anyone interested? College football is very cheap right now. I think it's like $13 US.
Yeah, 13 on digital and $10 if you want a physical.
Yeah, that $3 is not worth the effort of me putting that disc in and out, guys. I'm sorry, it's not. Like, but yeah, Nintendo, we'll see. But in general, also technically with Bungie's games releasing on everything, there's always a chance that these kind of live service games do release on Xbox as well. Maybe, we'll see. Okay, moving on.
Live service is definitely day and date on PC, with I think a good chance on console in the future, because we know Marathon is still supposed to be, unless they yoink that out, but it's going to cost so much that I do think and they know the audience is there for Bungie. That one still should have a chance, but otherwise we'll wait and see.
Yep. And the next news is kind of still a fun thing, which honestly I'm kind of surprised hasn't already happened yet. But the communications director at Playstack Publishing, which of course published Balatro, teased an image of an official card deck featuring iconic Balatro artwork, stating these will be arriving soon. Small little thing that really should have already been a thing, I feel.
Yeah, it takes a little, as we've seen with first that book that's in both of our backgrounds. Real world, QC can take a little while. So it's just you want to make them nice.
It's only been like a year since Balatro released it.
And even with console wars, we had to change the card stock after the initial. Like, hey, this is great, and then we used them 6-7 times, and they start falling apart. And then that's just the way it's going to go with the base. And we're like, well, shit, I guess we'll pay a little extra. So we were nice, and we took a little bit of a hit so that your cards last longer.
That makes sense. Yeah, but yeah, cool. I mean, I'm definitely
no data or money or anything given, but it was just a neat little thing I wanted to throw in the news.
That'll probably be something you should put on your list of like little gifts to give to friends that play games. I'm always looking for those kind of things.
No, we don't even need the next one. There's almost nothing to talk about with it. I'll just do that one.
Okay. All right. Next one up is, again, really good news in the industry, which is Space Marine 3 is officially in development. It makes sense. Space Marine 2 was extremely successful, I want to say, more than they were expecting, more than any of us were expecting. It's a fantastic game. I have heard, by the way, Jesse, that people consider what they've added since release to be better than the base campaign. So I gotta play those one day.
So those are the more co-op. Oh God, were they operations?
Operations, yes.
So I did all of them solo in the review period, but I haven't gone back because I don't have the freaking time.
Yeah.
And
so since then they've added I think 4 or 5
yeah,
more.
They had a whole roadmap. We've covered it. They've just constantly had a bunch of stuff. It would be fun to go back and maybe do a Hangouts or something on.
Yeah. I'm totally game for that. I mean, we have a third. Yeah, John could go in, right? Third people.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it's crossplay with you just could use codes.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I mean. Oh, to do crossplay, that makes sense. I'm 100% done.
Yeah, because I think I gave it to him on PC.
Yeah. For anyone who has not played it yet, Space Marine 2 is a fantastic game. Significantly better than the first one, in my opinion. As someone who
not on Unreal, on the Swarm engine, Saber Zone.
Yes. Really cool game, and the main character story is definitely not complete, so it makes sense to continue it.
And he was the main character from the first one. He was voiced by Mark Strong, the actor you might know. He was in the Kingsman and Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
He was voiced by Mark Strong in the first game or the second one?
In the first game. Not in the second one, but thankfully the guy in the second game was still very good.
Fantastic.
I have only played little bits of the first game. So when this one, when 3 is coming close, probably do like some copy with cabases of playing the first and the second game to get
it's
get
still
ready
a fun
for
game. It's just, what I love about video games is so often the sequel just takes whatever wasn't that good about the first and just improves it. Right? It's why I love sequels in video games, and I'm always not that into sequels in movies because it's not always the same thing there, right?
Yeah, because it's less interactive, so like you can try and find that magic again in a movie, but it's just harder than I know this worked and this didn't work, and this thing I'm going to have this person directly control versus I'm going to hope people think this is neat.
Exactly. For those asking, he plays the tech guy in Kingsman, West Virginia. If that
steps on a landmine at one point. Very sad.
Yeah. Second movie though, you're good. He's kicking for the
second
first
movie, man. It was a good movie, but just immediately annihilating everyone from the first movie. Didn't like it.
Super weird decision.
Whole crew, whole place, all gone. And sold enough. I'll talk about it. I never ended up watching the prequel or anything because I
haven't either. I heard it was not good.
And then he did Argyle.
Action. What do you think of Argyle? Have you seen it?
It's just a weird movie, man.
It's super weird movie.
Yeah, it's weird. It's not bad and it's not good.
I liked it overall because
it was a guilty pleasure for me because I like some of the people in 100%. It, like Bryce Dallas Howard and the rest. But it's like, it's a weird movie. Movies can be
Sam
weird.
Rockwell is a king. Whatever he is, literally. But yeah, sorry, this is not the movie podcast. It's fantastic.
They should redub Moon without Kevin Spacey as a robot. Then I'd watch it again.
I didn't even realize he was Kevin. Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
I can see you can. So I mean, it's fucking whatever. He was acquitted on everything, so you can't say too much. But
yeah. I don't know. But I also don't gotta say a lot either way, right?
Yeah. I like Duncan Jones movies. Warcraft was very good, and people were, but Warcraft again was for Warcraft fans. And if you were into Warcraft, especially me with World of Warcraft, where it was the only thing I played for like 6 years, it was amazing. But outside of that, you're like,
Forge brought to life.
Everything, every part of that was just the games. Yeah, for real. But also people are like, always just make the game story. And I was like, yeah, but that really does alienate the people who aren't into the games as much if it's not the most approachable fiction, because you have to explain so much.
I do think they should have started straight from Warcraft 3. I think it would have been an easier story to tell. But whatever, is what it is.
Have Brad Pitt as Arthas. I'm kidding.
I mean, Henry Cavill is obviously Arthas, like, especially back then, would have been perfect.
Him blonde, not so much as the silver hair. Amazing. I would be curious what he looks like blonde.
Oh, you're right. Honestly, I keep forgetting Arthas is blonde for a little while.
I mean, for his life, he is blonde.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, man. Speaking of Brad Pitt, I watched Snatch again last night. Such a good movie. Okay, anyways, moving on. Only a couple things left to talk about for the last couple of days. So,
Argyle is a Kingsman universe thing, isn't it? At the end, it's revealed to be Kingsman-y or something, I thought.
Was it?
I thought so. I thought it has some ties.
No. It's definitely not. One of the main characters in Argyle is Samuel Jackson. So definitely not.
Okay. I really thought but it was weird because, they tied it into Kingsman.
Wait,
I swear to Christ. Yeah.
But does Samuel Jackson just play two different characters in the movies?
I guess. Maybe he's got a twin.
Yeah, I guess so.
But anyways, PowerWash Simulator 2.
Yes, finally announced. This is for everyone in chat and Mort specifically. I'll be honest, I didn't get to it.
It's not my internet. I'm good. It's Ursul's internet died for a second. You went full robot. You're back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I didn't stop. I lost nothing to my upload to YouTube, so it wasn't me.
Makes sense. I got to mess with my router. But yeah, PowerWash, of course, is super fun. Making a sequel makes sense. And no one that releases a game that becomes like this huge, massive hit builds that game in mind of it being a super giant, massive hit. So when the sequel comes in, or when they take their time to kind of rebuild, probably hire armor people, get rid of what's most certainly a lot of spaghetti code somewhere in their systems, it makes sense to do a sequel.
Yeah, and especially because there's been enough content in PowerWash Simulator. Like they just put out Wallace and Gromit, and people say it's great. Like there hasn't been a decline in the quality. But hey, if you can upgrade and you got an excuse for it, this one won't launch into Game Pass. I think PowerWash Simulator, when it came to consoles, was in Game Pass, even though it was day one. I think this one will be everywhere. It's already up for pre-order, but you got to buy it. But we should have coverage later in the year.
And of course, one of the big parts of it is split screen. And it was a game that I think would benefit a lot from that. Just, you and your spouse sitting there just slowly cleaning things virtually, because cleaning things in real life is a pain in the butt, and not as smooth.
That's why it's fun in these games, because it isn't generally something you can just easily do. And when you see it easily done, it's very satisfying.
That's why I like the farming game so much, because it's like, all a day's hard work, and I'm sitting on my couch forcing my guy to work hard labor until like 2 a.m. in the morning. Very satisfying. Very satisfying. But yeah, okay. PowerWash Simulator 2. Did they say coming out later this year?
Yep.
All right, nice. We'll probably get another trailer at maybe in June.
Nah,
I'm surprised.
I don't think it's big enough for June.
And not for Microsoft.
Summer Game Fest.
Fest, right? Yeah.
Or if they do a partner preview, they didn't do one this month. Well, at least without that we know of yet. They did one last March.
Yeah, you're right, actually. Well, a lot of the stuff's already about to release, right?
And there's been like 7 other showcases this month. Like they just had the Future Game Showcase, I think, is coming, and Kind of Funny just did one. Like, there's been a lot.
Also, technically, they will probably be at a partners showcase in about 2 weeks, right? With Switch in April 3rd.
They're I wouldn't be surprised to see like some sort of Microsoft
Which we might
present there.
stream, maybe, because I'm fully expecting some kind of Microsoft presence there.
Yeah,
maybe.
Depends on the time and everything. Should work.
Yeah, Nintendo doesn't friggin' give the times before it. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, and last but not least, because it is relatively big news, we talked about Ubisoft a little earlier in the show, and now Rainbow Six Siege, their most successful live service game, is having, as they say it, the biggest evolution it's ever seen. But essentially, SparkNotes is it's going kind of free to play, where they say free access will allow players to experience the unique tactile action at no cost, and you have access to 10 operators at the start. And I believe, is it 26 total, or are they just saying like you can get up to 26?
I have no idea. I have not played Siege in years.
Yeah, neither have I. I have a cousin who's like super into it. But alongside that, this is called Rainbow Six Siege X. So the free-to-play aspect of it is one thing, but they're also releasing a new game mode, 6v6, big updates to the core gameplay, visual enhancements, audio overhaul, rappel upgrades, revamped player protection systems. I mean, this is all Siege.
Yeah, this one's been in Game Pass for a while too on console.
Yeah, quite a bit.
It might be on PC via Ubisoft Connect. I don't actually know.
Maybe. But Siege is still very much alive, and doing very well still. I'm just going to quickly double check.
It's kind of like Overwatch, where like it feels like once people in the industry stop focusing on it, they just assume it's dead, where it's like, no, it's chugging along.
Like, for reference, right now, at this very moment, before this big update came out, it is the 4th top playing game on Xbox. That is incredibly difficult to hit top 5, especially consistently, which it has been. It goes Fortnite, Call of Duty, Roblox, Siege, and then 2K and Minecraft. But like, Siege is extremely popular. It kind of found that zeitgeist, and it keeps updating. And I guess people just really like that nitty gritty extraction kind of gameplay.
I forget when I was trying to look up when Siege came out, but they completely relisted it with new additions last year, so I don't actually remember. 2018,
I think. Rainbow Six Siege?
Yeah, because even the store listing on Xbox.com doesn't show it anymore. It only shows the
2015. Holy crap.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's very old. But that's the X, I thought, right? Because it's 10 years old. I haven't paid attention. I just saw the thing. But also, breaking news: Resident Evil 3 remake coming to iPhone, iPad, and Macintosh today. I just got an email from Capcom. I'm just gonna put that in my red folder.
9 a.m. Eastern, and yeah, nice thing is Shingy and us, we're all in the same time zone. That makes things so convenient, by the way. That means we're in the same time zone. 9 a.m. Eastern on, it's probably a Thursday, isn't it?
It's the 2nd, so that is Wednesday.
Ooh, that works well for me. My Wednesdays are clear.
Yeah, and that would be, at that point, it would be 2 p.m. for John, so that should work.
Yeah, nice.
Not that he gives a shit about anything Nintendo, so he doesn't have to be there.
Maybe might work for Nick too. Might be like.
Oh, hit the wrong button. Hit the intro button. That would be incredibly late evening for Nick. So
it's midnight.
Yeah.
So if he really wants to join, then he can. It's usually
Yep.
only like 30, 40 minutes.
And just got an email, 33 Immortals is now out in early access.
Yeah, for those wondering where our coverage is, I didn't get a reply back.
Yeah.
When we were getting the codes. Yeah. It's out, like out.
Yeah, I just got an email saying it is now available for purchase on Epic Game Store, Xbox app for PC, Xbox Series X and X, and through Game Pass. It's not on Steam.
Weird.
Yeah.
Maybe if enough patrons wanted, we could do like a what's it called?
Community game night.
Game night.
Yeah, we'll try and figure that out. We need 30 patrons. Let's go.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
Can
I have I have no idea how. I haven't played a second of it, and I feel bad because I've had access to it for the alpha stuff.
I don't think you can queue as 33 people. I'm pretty sure. They probably like bring it down to like whatever evenly divides into 33 that isn't 11.
There's only 11.
Right? It's only 11.
Yeah. 10 teams of 3.
But yeah, that is the news for the last couple of days. There are some other stuff like comments by developers, blah blah blah. Maybe we'll cover it.
Yeah, we'll have more Thursday. We'll see how much. Thursday is more the catch up because you have the whole weekend for Tuesday. You've got Friday through Tuesday morning. They only have Tuesday evening, Wednesday, and Thursday morning for Thursday. So we'll figure it out.
We have GDC this week though.
It'll be a lot about Assassin's Creed and GDC.
Yes, I'm 100% expecting that too. It'll be me again this Thursday. Jon is still in San Francisco.
He will be back for the podcast to talk about lots of things.
Really looking forward to listening to that. That about covers it for today. As always, this show, as Jesse mentioned earlier, our reviews, our podcasts, they're all possible due to our patrons. So if you like what you see, just comment, talk, and chat. That's awesome. It's just nice having interactivity and knowing people are here watching us. But if you really like what we do, take a look at patreon.com/XboxEra. We have a bunch of different tiers and some cool stuff and a bunch of giveaways, which if you've been on the Discord lately, also join the Discord. You'll notice we have a pretty damn big giveaway currently in the works.
You got to join, though, if you want to see what it is.
Yes, you do.
I'll put the link in chat.
Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in a couple days.
Ciao for now.
My way. Tell your children not to hear my